today's our topic is ESR spectroscopy. So what the ESR stands for? ESR stands for electron spin resonance, and it is also known as electron paramagnetic resonance and electron magnetic resonance. If we want to define ESR, so we can define it as ESR is a branch of spectroscopy in which radiation of microwave frequency is absorbed by the molecule possessing unpaired electron. Here we are defining the term unpaired electron because the molecule which possesses unpaired electron are only able to show ESR spectra, and the compound in which the unpaired electrons are absent, they do not show ESR spectrum. So when we place such compound which possesses unpaired electron in the external magnetic field, then the energy states of different various energy levels get split up, and transition between these energy level takes place by the absorption of microwave radiation, and due to which we get a ESR spectra. The substance which possesses one or more unpaired electron are known as paramagnetic substances, and only paramagnetic substances are able to exhibit ESR. Now we are coming to the history of the ESR technique. So the ESR technique was first developed by a physicist Jaworski in 1945, and he was the first who successfully observed the ESR spectra. Here the ESR is really important for determining the physical properties of the compound. Here we are going to tell you that the ESR is not very important at the point of view of structure determination, but it have very deep connection with the physical properties of the unknown compound or unknown sample we get. So we will make a different video on what the importance of ESR spectra and why the demand of ESR is high, but here we giving you the roughly idea that the ESR is really important for determining the physical property of the unknown sample, and that's why the demand of ESR is very high. Now what is the basic principle of ESR? It is a very main and very basic topic of our video. So now as we know that electron have the spin around its own axis, and due to this spin it possesses its own magnetic moment. The unpaired electron have magnetic moment due to its spin around the axis. So when this compound which possesses the unpaired electron have its own magnetic moment placed in the external magnetic field, then this magnetic moment of unpaired electron interact with the magnetic moment of the applied magnetic field, and due to this interaction various energy levels generates, and transition between these energy level takes place on the application of microwave radiation, and due to this we get a ESR spectra. So for an unpaired electron, the value of spin quantum number, which is represented by small s, is given by half. Now by this half value we can calculate the spin angular momentum quantum number ms by the formula 2s plus 1. By the putting of s value half, we get two values of ms, which is plus half and minus half, and we can write it as ms is equal to plus minus half. So by this plus minus half we can conclude that the energy states are doubly degenerated in the absence of magnetic field. But when we apply magnetic field, then these energy levels no more remain doubly degenerated, and their degeneracy is get removed, and we get two energy levels with the value ms minus half and the value ms plus half. Now the low energy state have the ms value minus half, and the high energy state have the ms plus half. Why this is low energy and high energy states? Because the low energy state have the spin magnetic moment of the electron aligned with the applied magnetic field. When these two magnetic moment aligned with each other, then the value of energy is low and we get the low energy state. When the magnetic moment of applied magnetic field is opposite to the magnetic moment of the electron, then we get a energy state which is have the high value and the ms value plus half. Now by this diagram we make it more clear. We taking the y axis as energy, and on x axis we taking the magnetic field. By the application of magnetic field, the degeneracy of energy levels gets removed, and we get two energy levels, one with the ms minus half, another with ms plus half. The ms value minus half have the low energy value, and the ms with plus half have the high energy states. The energy difference between these two energy levels is delta E, and it should be equal to h nu. Now the formula E is equal to G beta H ms give the energy of each energy state separately. फिर by the putting the values of ms in this formula, we get the energy values of each energy state. By putting the value minus half, we get energy value minus 1 by 2 G beta H, and by putting the value ms is equal to plus half, we get plus 1 by 2 G beta H. And we can calculate the energy difference between these two energy levels by the formula E2 minus E1, that is equal to H nu, and we get the value G beta H, and by transferring the H, we get mu's value G beta H upon H. What the different terms in this formula stands for? The small h stands for Planck's constant, beta is for Bohr magneton, G is for spectroscopic splitting factor, and H is strength of applied magnetic field. All the terms in this formula are constant except the strength of applied magnetic field, which is variable over here. Now for a free electron, G is 2.0023. Small h is the Planck's constant, which possesses the value 6.16 × 10⁻34 joule second, and beta is Bohr magneton with the value 9.27 × 10⁻24 joule per Tesla. The energy of these energy levels can be calculated by this formula, and the transition between these energy levels can take place on the application of microwave radiation, and after the transition we will get a spectra of the compound. Now we are going to mention here as a very important thing, the transition between these energy levels can take place by the application of microwave radiation, but the transition is only possible when the energy of the applied microwave radiation matches with the energy difference between these two energy levels. When the energy of the applied magnetic field, when the energy of the applied microwave radiation matches with the energy difference between these two energy levels, then only the transition of electron from lower energy level to higher energy level is possible, and that is the basic principle of ESR. I hope that you are able to understand the basic principle of ESR spectroscopy, and really thank you so much for watching my video.